Hello. 1212 portal. Should we have a chat about that then? So, yeah, I mean, like, I've just been pondering that, like, on how I do my video blogs and when I do them. And, there are amazing people and psychics and channels and just people which are so gifted. I mean, like, there's more and more of us popping up all over the place. I mean, you're like, if you're watching this, you're one of them as well. We just bring through really, really powerful information, but we all bring information through at different times because, for different reasons. And you get those people that kind of bring the channel through way before the 1212 portal is hitting and what to expect. It's a bit like getting your list before travel, right? You need fresh underwear, fresh socks, suntan lotion, that kind of vibe. And then you get people that kind of like channel in the moment. It's 12:12 today and XYZ, blah, blah, blah. And then you get people like me, and I just like to coast through it, sit, watch, feel it in my own body, and kind of receive my downloads of like, the hell was all that about? Do you know what I mean? And I'm the one that's going to tell you, where do we go from here? So that's kind of like my vibe every time. I like to kind of move through these portals and these energies and frequencies so I can effectively embody it. And once I embody the codes and I feel it in my own life, because that's how it plays out, I then get a real crystal clear clarity. Because if it's happening for me, then there's an energy field for all of us, right? Because we are one, we're all connected. I'm a mirror of you, and vice versa. So, if something's landing with me, the chances are it's landing with you, and like I say, vice versa. So with this 1212 portal, you probably felt it. It's very much like a hole in the wall, like somebody's etched out a circular hole, and we literally, because that's what a portal is, we literally stepped through the other side, looked on the other side of the wall. It's a bit like the great collapse of the Berlin Wall. You're like, oh my God, there's a whole something behind here. And that's what it feels like, that we've stepped through. Yes, there was the elements of purging coming up and all the rest of it. We're always going to feel that when we go through energy upgrades, when we go through expansions, when we go through portals, that next level stuff. You're always going to feel the purge because we're getting higher and higher, expanded. And for that to happen, we got to let go. It's a bit like a hot air balloon. We got to cut some sandbags off the basket so we can get up there. You got to drop some baggage. You know what I mean? So that's the best way to describe that. But this time it felt like a gateway and moving through. So just to share my experience right now, because you have to remember, each and every one of us is a portal. Each and every one of us, we're like crystals. We receive, we transmit. Majority of our body is made up of water. You know what I mean? We are energy. We are frequency. As is all of this. So we feel stuff and we receive stuff, and that's kind of how it rolls. So with these frequencies coming through now, you're really, really going to feel like you're a little bit of a spiritual highway, meaning there is so much energy running through. I literally feel like fear comes through, like really hectically, all of a sudden, a rush of it, and then it disappears. And then I'm like, wow, what was that? And it's like a flash of fear comes through my system. Unlike the times we've been working with before, where fear comes through and you kind of sit in it all day and go, oh my God, this is terrible. So I'm kind of feeling those experiences, which you may be feeling in your body as well. It's like a big bang, intensity, gone. And you're like, wow. And that is what I'm referring to as being a runway, okay? Like a highway, cars just moving through. And in this case, it's energy. So it's very, very fast and it's very, very intense. So it is very, very different, this 1212 portal. Now, you might find extreme nausea. I've had a headache for days, extreme nausea, feeling very, very unwell. There's been quite a bit of anxiety on board as well. But like, there's almost like it's anxiety for an anticipation of what's to come. Because, it's not that the world's going to end. Well, actually, that's a lie. The world is going to end because it's the ending of the old world, which is all the shit that we don't want anyway. So let it end. And we're going through these timelines now where we move into the 2022. And then, of course, it's going to be very, very different. So we are cutting our sandbags on our hot air balloons right now, and we're gaining height. And then the higher you get, and as the altitude, you get up into the altitude, you might be a little bit short of breath or whatever. You're gonna feel that elevation. Okay, so as always, lots of water, lots of rest. But let's just talk about what the 1212 portal is all about. It's opening up the high heart. Okay, so the high heart is here. You've got your heart, and then you've got your high heart. Okay, your high heart is a portal. It's the 8th dimension. It's the place. This energy here is all about accepting your core power. So this is what's happening every time the energies expand with the 12-12 portal. We are ultimately stepping into our power more and more because we're gaining more and more light. How that transits in the world is you're letting go of people, places, situations, old methods, old thought patterns that don't serve you anymore. And also what you're going to be experiencing at the time as well is like somebody's just walked in and put the light on, and people that maybe not have been in alignment with you for whatever reason, you know, friends, bosses, employees, whatever, it's going to be shown to you now. So don't get freaked out by it. Just see it as a blessing and like, oh, okay, so you're not coming with me. All right, so that's fine. Because there's probably a better alignment for them somewhere else. So let it go. Let them go. Let it all go. Allow it, right? And that's happening a lot, you know? So you're kind of like seeing, you know, you might find with relationships that, yeah, the relationship's still going to stand, but the dynamic and what held it together isn't going to, and that needs to go as well. This is what I mean when I talk about upgrades. So this is still running off the eclipse energy. This is where, you know, moons are moons, but when you bring the eclipse energy in, it brings chaos. And when these things are happening and everybody's changing before your eyes, it is a bit chaotic because why? You shitting yourself. It's fearful. It's like, oh my God, everything's changing. Oh my God, you know, but you just gotta hold fast. Hold your center, get into your heart as best as you can, and just trust and know that this is all just the great clear up, you know, and that's what you want. So the 12-12 portal, all about forgiveness, compassion, and love. Okay, compassion and love, forgiveness, all sits in the high heart here, as I say. So, you know, this is the cosmic heart. So, you know, so we really are expanding on our heart energy now. So, so that 12-12 portal is going to just be expanding you into that heart energy, also going to be clearing up what you don't need, and it's going to be preparing you for the 21st, which is the summer or winter, depends where you are, the solstice on the 21st of December. There's another power date in November on the 19th, but I'm just going to kind of like, let's just do baby steps first of all, because December's quite a trip. And I'm just like, and all the chaos that's going on in the world, let me just keep it super real. If you are in a country which is just basically a bit nuts right now, Africa, kind of chilled vibes. You know, Hakuna Matata. If you've watched Lion King, don't worry about it tomorrow. Things come, things go, easy breezy. We roll with the punches because it's how it's always been in Africa. Way before the pandemic, but I do understand that there are other countries and places, because I speak to my friends all over the world that are having a very, very different experience to us. And, you know, it's hard. It's really, really hard because you're surrounded in that energy, like condensed, you know, it's full on. But again, where there's chaos, there's transformation. So try and adjust your belief systems that what is going on around you doesn't mean impending doom and you're not, you know, this is just bad. When there's chaos, that means there's change. Because if you're just plodding along and everything's chilled vibes and it's good, that means stuff all is changing. And you don't want to stay unchanged. You want to change. So the only way we can change is by bringing a big influx of energy, which causes chaos. Chaos brings disruption. Disruption is kind of like throws it up in the air. But then after that, when all the dust settles, it rearranges itself into a different thing. Now, if you think about it, if I took a vase now and I actually held this vase and it's all beautiful and lovely and it's holding my flowers so perfectly and it's just, isn't it just picture perfect with the roses in there? And I just randomly just threw it on the floor and smashed it, right? I'm going to change that whole dynamic. It's no longer holding roses, fine, but I'm going to glue it all back together and make a beautiful mosaic of a vase. And it's now just not a normal vase, which was a bit boring actually. I've now made it into a beautiful mosaic. So I've changed it. Its purpose is still the same, but it looks a bit better because it's kind of like retro funky. So that's what I'm talking about. 2 seconds ago, it was chaos because there was bits of vase all over the floor smashed into smithereens. That didn't feel so great. And it was like, oh my God, we need to fix the vase. We did. We have. And now it's different. You know what I mean? So we can't change the pattern of your vase unless it smashes. Do you know what I mean? You kind of get my gist. So this is why it's really, really important to just really breathe and tell yourself in every moment that chaos is change. Chaos is good. Chaos is transformation. Transformation is growth. It means that you can change. Keep using that word change. So, you know, these are really, really challenging times because you can go to the other way and think, oh my God, you know, this is terrible. But there's always another side to the coin of looking at the perspective. Like, you know, like my cup of tea here. The old saying of It's completely empty. Or have I filled up to here? Perspective. So this is going to be really, really hard because, like, you know, when you're in it, it's really, really difficult. But you reach out to your community. You go to places where it is light, maybe on a Facebook group, which is all spiritual speak. Go to Gaia TV, watch some, like, you know, enlightening movies, whatever. Stay away from the people that are negative. Do you know what I mean? Go and sit under a tree if that's available to you. If it's not and you're in a high rise in London, put your earphones in, put your blindfold on, and go and travel to the mountains of, I don't know, somewhere beautiful in the meditation, you know, kind of find your space. So that is the 12-12 post low down as far as I'm concerned. And, you know, and we're going to just coast through December and you're going to be fine. And this too shall pass and everything is fine. But what now? So keep on keeping on. And salt baths as much as you can. And if you need to drink wine, drink more wine with it. Do whatever you got to do, you know? Anyway, I think it's quite funny because my shirt is New Balance, but this is like New Balance, a new way of balancing. Just realised that there. Anyway, much love to y'all. Keep on keeping on. You're doing amazing. We will club together and we will continue in our communities and we will hold each other up. Rah, rah, come the revolution. Peace and love, y'all.